All right, let's do our first chair shaking medicine class. This one is called seated mountain. In shaking medicine, we often use mountain stance to shake in and to integrate in. And our chair version of this is seated mountain. So let's start our embodiment journey here by sitting nice and tall, whatever chair you are in. Stack your vertebrae to some degree, vertebrae on vertebrae. Feel a sense of the crown of your head pulling up and your tailbone rooting down into your chair. And very important here is the breath. The breath helps to calm us, to soothe us. So first notice how your breath is without changing it. Is it long and deep, fast, slow? Is it more in the chest? Is it more in the belly? And now that you've witnessed where your breath is, let's intentionally bring it into a more parasympathetic rest and digest breath where we breathe into the belly, feel the belly expand, and gently contract. A few more like that. Inhale. Can you feel your belly inflate from the front as well as the sides and the back of your belly? And then as you exhale, feel it kind of come in. Find a rhythm that works for you. It doesn't have to be my exact rhythm. And take a few rounds like that. With each round, see if you can deepen it a little bit more. Belly inflates and deflates. Basically, the belly is expanding to pull the diaphragm down to inflate the lungs, and then the belly contracts to push the diaphragm up to deflate the lungs. Abdominal breathing moves us. If we're doing it well, it should move us into a more relaxed state. And this is our kind of base breathing in Shaky medicine. We don't want to get too overly attached to it or too overly caught up in it, but it's good to tune into from time to time. And naturally, as we relax through the shaking, our breath will move more and more towards this parasympathetic state as well. So, let's warm up our legs. Maybe one leg at a time, start to straighten and bend. And then the other. Just feel these big quads start to engage and relax. Engage and relax. Beautiful. A few more side to side. Maybe you lift a little higher, a little lower. And if any of these exercises don't work for you for any reason, skip them and join up when they do. Maybe some of you don't have the use of your legs, and so just witness this part and the parts maybe where we use the legs in tremoring as we move through the body. Both together is an option. Yeah, this is a little bit stronger, working these big muscle groups of the legs there. Yeah, and at any time you can adjust your position to make your seat more comfortable. Lean back or forward. You can use your backrest or not, depending on how you are feeling today. Great, now relax both legs down and let's either with the heels resting or slightly lifted, spin the ankles. Warming up your ankle joints. A fundamental part of shaking medicine is that we want to ground through our roots, which are our legs, basically from the hips down. And we want to tremor these parts. We want to warm these parts up. Because if our roots are able to have a free flow of energy, we can move the shake through them more easily, and also the energy has a place to flow and ground out of our body. Beautiful. So change directions. Really feel the toes, maybe even spread the toes a bit. Spin your ankles. Beautiful. Let's place our feet back down. Or if you're in a high chair, maybe your legs from the knee down are kind of hanging. That's cool too. Then what we want to do is let's play with the pelvis. So let's tuck our tailbone and then tilt towards the front. So this way. Play with changing the angle of your seat if you need to get in a position where you can better tilt. Basically, we want to explore the range of motion of our pelvis, tilting back and forth this way. Interior tilt, posterior tilt. Interior means the top of the pelvis pours forward like we're pouring out of a water faucet. And then posterior, tuck your tailbone under, pour towards the back. Yeah, a few more like that. And let the other parts of the body move with the pelvis tilting. That's our focal point. But yeah, other parts of the body might move a little. Beautiful. And then come to your mountain seat, neutral pelvis, tall spine, legs aligned and centered and balanced. And let's take a few breaths in here, inhaling. Abdominal breathing again to sort of integrate these movements we've done. One more big breath in. And a sigh out. Nice. Let's bring our warm up to our spine now. So spinal breathing in a seat. We're going to kind of poke our ribs, our chest forward as we extend our spine, creating a sort of curve, feeling that extension. And then feel the flexion. And it helps to tuck the tailbone a bit here, just like we did, and tuck the chin, and we're rounding the spine this way. And that's our movement. Extension, flexion. And those abdominal breathing we set up, see if you can align that with the movement here. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Inhale, extend. Just find your flow, your rhythm here. Really bringing your awareness to your spine. Can you feel your spine? Every angle of it, every vertebrae perhaps, as you deepen your connection with your spine. This is very much a practice of this nervous system, and especially the central nervous system at its core, which runs through our spine. So another important concept in Shaky medicine is to warm up the spine. Beautiful. Let's come back to a neutral spine here. Let's do one more warm-up movement before moving on to the tremoring part of the class. So we'll twist to one side, spinal twisting, and then to the other side. You can hang out for a while from one side to the other, or move a little quicker. You might even pulse a little. Still breathing, or you might be like, oh, that's a good angle. Hang out there. Use your intuition based on what you feel. This is a practice of intuition, really, Shaky medicine. So the more you can start to use it now, the deeper you'll be able to go with your therapeutic tremoring. How do we use intuition? What feels good in the body? Feel sensations and be like, oh yeah, that's a spot. Breathe into it, twist into it, hang out in it. Start empowering yourself, if you haven't been, to trust your intuition. Very important. A few more moments to twist and move. Ah, beautiful. So from here, back to neutral. Maybe palms facing up here. A couple more of those deep, rhythmic, abdominal breathing. And I invite you to tune into your intention for this practice today, if you'd like. Sometimes the best intention is no intention, to just allow what wants to move through to come, because this is a practice of trusting our animalistic instinct to move us and heal us for us. Though at the same time, you might be aware, super aware of like, oh, there's a particular ache or pain or tension, or maybe you're like, wow, I'm feeling really stressed. So your intention can be like work on that tension or dissolve that stress, anxiety, trauma, etc. So take a few more moments to feel all that. So now we're going to start tuning into therapeutic tremoring, what Shaky medicine is all about, what we focus on at Shaky medicine. So let's start. We'll start with the legs. It's often easiest to get the big muscle groups spontaneously shaking first. And we don't want to force it. If you force it, if you kind of make it happen, we're doing voluntary shaking, which can be beneficial for sure, but not the intention of this practice. So I invite you, as we do the moving meditation of tuning in to therapeutic tremoring here, to wait patiently for it to arise. So one leg at a time. Float your leg. Maybe it's already hovering off the ground, or you need to lift it just a little bit. And then what we're going to do, kind of like the one, we're going to start to straighten and bend. Let's just, for a moment, find your range of motion again, kind of fast. And then slow it down. Start to do the next motion of this in this range here, a little bit slower than the last. And then a little bit slower again. You see how I'm slowing down? Very important. And also, while doing it slower each time, you can see I'm already starting to get some involuntary, spontaneous shaking. Also, as you do it slower, do it more relaxed. Use less effort through your whole body as much as possible. Some effort is okay, we just want to use the minimal effort. And then the idea is, I've been doing this while I can tune in really easy, and maybe you're already tuning in as well. But no worries if it's going to take you a little bit more exploration to find it. What we want to do is to keep moving as slowly and as relaxed as we can until, now let me describe a few ways it might look. Is that at first you might get like sudden little like jolts. It might just be like one little jolt, or like a skipping of the range of motion, like a sudden like, oh, like, because if we're going slow and relaxed and smooth, and then all of a sudden like, oh, it skips the motion. That's a signal from our body, our nervous system, that there's something to explore there. There's some tremoring that possibly wants to awaken there. So we want to keep moving nice and slow and relaxed until we find those bumpy bits, those places where we get quakes and jolts and shakes that are spontaneous. We're not making it happen, we're just kind of scanning for it. And then what we can do is we can narrow the range of motion to the spots where we get the most of those tremors, because that's what they are, they're therapeutic tremors. And then through that narrower range of motion, start to move as slowly and as relaxed as you can until it's kind of, eventually you reach a point where you hang out in the shake. It's like tuning one of those old analog radios. If you turn the knob too fast, you'll skip all the stations. But if you go nice and slow, you'll find the shaken stations. So that's what we want to do here. We want to tune into our shaken FM. And then I call that a strategy for tuning into the shake. This is one of our fundamental strategies of moving as slow and relaxed as we can, which is in line with surrendering and allowing and letting go, which is our foundational way of exploring Shaky medicine, and simultaneously the most deep and advanced way. While we have many other strategies, which we'll likely touch on through this course, let's keep it simple. Once you tune into a shake, we just let go of this strategy and we just hang out in the shaken station. There's nothing to do but let the mind dissolve. We can let the logical thinking mind have a nap and let the body work itself out. The animalistic intelligence within us knows how to move us. So we've been doing this leg for quite a while. Maybe it's getting a bit tired now. Let's switch sides. You're also welcome to rest at any time as much as you need and come back into it. So same thing, other leg. Bending and straightening. The strategy is to move through a range of motion as slowly and as relaxed as we can, like we're turning the dial of one of those old analog radios. We go, if we need to, we go through the range of motion each time more slowly and more relaxed than the last. We go through it many times if we need, and we wait patiently for the skipping to happen, and then maybe we're already hanging out in the shake, that's spontaneous, or maybe we need to narrow our range of motion and continue moving even slower and more relaxed until eventually we're in the shake. We're in the shaken station. And then once we're in a shaken station, dissolve this strategy. No need to use this strategy in that moment anymore. The whole thing then is just to be in the rhythm, to hang out with your tremor mechanism. Let the body unwind you. Also, pretty much always different sides of the body will shake differently. No expectations for it to be the same as the other leg. Wherever you are, you might take a big breath in and a sigh out. That sound can help relax us again like that. Anything that relaxes us can help the tremor deepen, because the more we're in parasympathetic, the more our tremor mechanism can move us. And the more we shake, the more our body tends to relax and let go. So, option to, if you want, to switch again, or you might try both legs together. Bending and straightening, so a bit more yang, a bit more active if you want a strong one. And again, if you can't, for whatever reason, you can't do your legs at the moment, still, watch this, because the strategy we're using applies to any and all parts of our body as a way to tune in. And we will do the other parts too. Beautiful. Let's take a moment to hang out a little bit more if it's feeling good. Go ahead and start resting if you need. If you ever need a break, it's very important to honor your intuition, the sense of like, oh, whoa, that's getting too much. It could be quite tiring to hold the legs up for quite a while. And eventually you'll actually be able to tune into the tremoring and then slowly relax the legs all the way back down to where there's no effort here and the tension is still tremoring. And that'll happen as you build a relationship with your tremor mechanism, likely down the road, but hey, some people get that straight away. I'd say that's usually as someone's advancing in this practice, they're tuning in and then they slowly relax out of the shake so much that there's no effort being used, and then the body's from no effort whatsoever is letting go through the shake. So that may be you today. Be aware of that down the road, more likely. So one more here before we integrate that. Let's, in whatever comfortable position you can, let's just play with spinning our ankles again, nice and slow and relaxed. So we come through a flexion of the feet and a point. And you can play with any angle of spinning your ankles all around. Just go as slowly and as relaxed as you can. And just see if the tremoring wants to move all the way there through your feet, through your, maybe even through your toes. Releasing the blockage. It could be one side shakes and the other doesn't. That's your nervous system showing you what you need in this moment. So the idea is once we're in a shake, just, okay, we're there. Let go of this strategy and allow it to move you, for you. Beautiful. So a bit more here. Being with your breath is beautiful. If you're ever caught in the mind, just as you hang out in the shake or trying to tune into the shake, those belly breaths we set up are so powerful. And even parasympathetic breath in can bring energy in the body to fuel the shaking mechanism, to help it move the blockages and tensions and such. Beautiful. Safety piece is actually, we even if you've been getting the shaking going, that's amazing. We also want to be able to turn the shaking off. So everyone, please, let's come to stillness. Come to your mountain seat, whatever that looks like for you, where you're centered, aligned, tall spine as best you can. And you might feel that pulse of shaking energy wanting to move through you. It might even feel like a sort of internal current of vibrational, electrical energy. Be with it in stillness. This is important for a safe practice, to continually stop. Feel that space of emptiness. Feel it. Allow your body to integrate the energy you've moved so far, and even feel how you feel now versus how you felt before when you were setting your intention. Okay. Rest as long as you need to rest. It's possible you've had enough shaking already, so you can watch the rest or rest even longer and join back up when you're ready. Or come back to this another day. We don't want to overdo it. So just a little bit more, one more round of therapeutic tremoring before we close this practice. Shaky butterfly legs. It could be nice to take the feet a little bit wider if possible. And then very easy, with least possible effort, with your arms completely rested by your side. Just take the knees inwards towards each other in your comfortable range of motion. Maybe it's all the way together, maybe not. And then bring them back apart as wide as they'll comfortably go. You can make any adjustments in your seat to make that more accessible or more comfortable. Sitting as effortless as you can, and then start to move through this range of motion, opening and closing as relaxed as you can, and each time more relaxed than the last. And eventually you'll likely feel those sudden jolts and quakes at some part of the movement. And if you don't get it in this movement, no worries. No worries if you get it in even one. You're starting to build your relationship with it, and it'll get easier and easier. So, and even if you don't get it at all in this class, keep going. You'll likely get it if you give it another go. This class or the next one or the next one. Once it lands, it'll be like, whoa, it'll be like a big remembering, because we're born with this therapeutic tremor mechanism. We all have it, and it's so worth the effort to find it. Oh. Playing with your shaky butterfly here. Opening our roots. We've done a lot with the ankles, with the knees bending, the thighs, and now this kind of gentle articulation of the hips, which connects into our pelvis. As you, either with this shaky butterfly, or it could be its own separate motion as you bring that to stillness. I'm going to do it with my legs going. You can play with it. What is it to, again, like we did in the warm-up, change the angle of the pelvis? Sometimes that's all it takes, is to slightly tilt your pelvis, either tuck the tailbone or lift it. There's anterior or posterior tilts. Sometimes that's all it takes to just, to find a whole new shaking station, to dive into a different and new harmonic of the shake. Boom. And you might get the pelvis shaking. That might even start to move upwards into the upper body. Wherever you are, relax, let it go. The more you can soften, the better. Breathing, allowing gentle sighs on the exhale can really help as well for us to tune in. Maybe you try the pelvis without the legs, just as slowly and as relaxed as you can, tilting the pelvis again. I was demonstrating the pelvis with my hands, but ideally your arms would stay nice and relaxed, because the more relaxed the body is, the better chance you are to tune in. So range of motion of the pelvis as slowly and as relaxed as you can. Each time you go through it, do it even more slowly, until, boom, you find the sweet spot, you find your shaking station, and then your work is done. Hang out in the shake. Let go of the strategy now and allow your shaking mechanism to move you how it wants to move you. Horse lips. Very nice for softening the face and the jaw. You can always adjust your seated mountain stance, where you lean back more, lean forward to find new angles there that might help. Shaking in a rocking chair here is quite fun. The shake kind of stimulates the rock. You can do this in any normal chair as well. We have good old Ganesha here, the destroyer of obstacles. So allow Ganesha energy to destroy the obstacles of tensions and blockages in your body and mind, so you can have the free flow of prana, of chi, of energy moving through your nervous system, through your body, as you start to move towards balance and homeostasis with your shaking medicine mechanism. So let's bring this once again all to a stop. Take a few moments. When you find your centered, aligned stance, coming back to a deep breathing. And on your next inhale, we'll sweep our arms up, gathering energy. And then exhale, rinse your whole body from head to tail with that energy. Let's do two more like that with your breath. Breathing in to fill up your body. Exhale, it's like you're draining any excess energy, grounding it to the bottom of your spine, maybe even down through the roots of your legs, through your feet. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. Feeling inside, feel all the sensations, everything that's alive for you right now. Be with this, be with yourself for some moments as you integrate this practice in stillness. Thank you for practicing with me. See you in the next one. Namaste.